Hello, and welcome to this afternoon taste challenge. I just finished mowing the lawn. Now, if you live in Massachusetts or New York right now, you might say mowing the lawn. Yep, second time in 2026. It's up to 60 degrees right now. Got the heater on a little, just take the chill off the room, but a little space heater, not the furnace, the gas furnace. But yeah, it's really nice out there. It's mostly clear. And we need rain, though. We're in a drought. Louisiana's in a drought. We had a big forest fire along Interstate 12 in St. Tammany Parish over the weekend. I could smell it this morning. I could smell the smoke. But anyway, I have two 40% alcohol single malt whiskeys. They're both Highland. When I was a little baby, we lived on Highland Road in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and it is a Highland. It's on a bluff. Baton Rouge, right before you get to Baton Rouge, where you start getting into the hills of Louisiana. In Ascension Parish, there's a road called Bluff Road, and you get on it, and then you can see the bluff. And if you stay on there, it gets higher and higher. And then in Mississippi, it gets even higher. And then by the time you get into Tennessee, you see it keeps rising. And if you go east, it gets higher and higher. All right. But anyway, enough of geography. This is Trader Joe's Highland from the Highlands of Scotland. Single malt Scotch whiskey, sherry cask finish. So it's aged in oak barrels, probably ex-bourbon barrels. But then it's the second aging period, and I don't know for how long, maybe a year, maybe 2 years in ex-bourbon and a year in sherry cask. So they're finishing it in a wine cask, and it gives it almost like a wine appearance, doesn't it? Look almost like a red wine, purplish. So interesting. And this was $17.99 when I bought it 4 years ago. Moisturized the cork. Because Trader Joe's in Louisiana sells liquor. They sell regular brands, like Courvoisier, cognac, but they sell their own private label brands as well. And here's the Trader Joe's Highland single malt Scotch whiskey, aged 10 years. Now, notice this label. Look at it carefully. It's from a company called Alexander Murray and Company, Aberdeen, in the Kingdom of Scotland. I'm going to show you one of their products that has an identical label, except that instead of this animal character here, they show the Trader Joe's animal. This shows the Trader Joe's lion, established 1967. But when I show you the Alexander Murray, that's the only difference. The little etching of the animal. This shows a lion holding a steering wheel for a ship. And I guess that's Trader Joe's logo, like a ship steering wheel. Real cork for both of these. They have cork, no twist caps. It's not wanting to focus. Well, I guess everybody knows what a cork looks like. All right. So I'm going to do the screen share. Now, these are Hamish, Robertson, and Alexander Murray and Company are in what are called independent bottlers. They don't make their own whiskey. They just buy whiskey from other people and bottle it themselves. Yes, I know there's a lot of those companies in America too, right? They don't really produce any whiskey. They just bottle it. Independent companies, and they'll try to be like, we're a craft distillery. Yeah, but you don't actually distill anything. You're just a bottler. But that's part of their game, I guess. But Yeah. It'll be like, we're rooted in Iowa. And then you look carefully, it's like product of Indiana. It's like, well, I don't think Indiana and Iowa are the same state. They don't even, they're not even touching each other. All right. Anyway, this one is more gold. This one's more amber gold. This one's more yellow gold. But they're not too much different. They're not too different. They are different though. So I just moved the lawn. Are these lawnmower whiskeys? All right. You really behave it. I can't believe it. You used to cause so much trouble, but now you've calmed down. Once you went into heat and you had your little womanhood or whatever you call that, you calm down. Now you just need a man, huh? But you're not getting a man because there ain't no men around here. They've all been killed by coyotes. So you'd just be an old maid. I'm sorry to say. All right. Look at this bottle. It's a different glass bottle. It's actually a different bottle design, but the label's the same. It's got this animal, a lion, but a different lion, not a lion wearing a crown, King of Scotland, King Charles III, King of Scotland, but not a lion holding a steering wheel. Born in 1911, that's when the company was founded, Alexander Murray Company. Age 10 years, matured in oak casks, distilled in 2011. Now, mine does not say that, but if it's distilled in 2011, that means it was aged till 2021, and I bought my bottle in 2022, so that makes perfect sense. So I think it's the same product. I think this is the same exact whiskey with a different label slapped on it. And we don't know who makes it because they kept the distiller secret. Now, some of the distillers they'll reveal. If you look on their website, they'll reveal some of them. Now, others they don't. Like this one says Torbor, okay? Tomintoul, Tobermory, Strathmill. Now, but others they just general. Speyside from 1972, 40-year-old. I bet that costs a pretty penny. See, they just give a general. They want Royal Brockla. Now, some of them, they'll tell you the distillery it comes from Mortlock, Milton Duff, Longmorn, Macduff, Linkwood, Ledaig. But then there's another one, Isla, General, Lefroy, and then Highland. See, they're not being specific. So it's whatever deal they made with the producer. Some say put our name on it. Others say don't put our name on it. Joe Hill says evening. Evening? It's only afternoon here. 1:16 Central Time. You will be hosting Fandango this Friday. No. I'm going to go work at the Knights of Columbus Fish Fry, which is half a mile from my house. So maybe Claude will do it again. Last week I was at a college baseball game. So this time of the year is no good for Fandango Friday for me. Now, but like I say, Claude did a great job the last 2 Fridays. I watched a neat video that exposes how all these craft distillers actually source their distillate from some massive wholesaler and then introduce their additives and techniques. Yeah, I mean, it's but people fall for it, like, oh man, I only paid $90 for this stuff. That's good. Did you know it was made by Jack Daniels? Okay, whatever. Because all of these big distillery companies, not to mention big beer companies, they make more beer than they can sell. They make more whiskey than they can get rid of. So what they do is they auction it off. It's just like a base thing. They'll be like, we got this 10-year-old Tennessee whiskey. It was finished in sherry casks. It's 10 years. And then they finished it for 5 months in sherry casks. And then they'll bid on it. And they'll take it back and they'll say, oh, man, you can get Shablip Distillery of Montana. This is a 10-year-old sherry cask. And you're like, oh, man, it's amazing. I only paid $90. But if it was Jack Daniel's sherry cask finish, 10-year, might be, $50. Okay. And the people that paid the 90 wouldn't ever, I would never drink Jack Daniels. I don't drink that garbage. I drink Shablip. I drink real whiskey. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, this smells like generalized bread whiskey, malt, barley malt. You can go to the store and buy barley bread, and well, not every store, but many. You can buy rye bread. You can buy wheat bread. Right? You can buy cornbread. All right, you get it? Okay, now smells good. No complaints. Oh, what's the price? Now I know I paid $17.99 for this. Can you believe that? $17.99 for a single malt scotch. Trader Joe's. That's Trader Joe's for you. I'll tell you what. All right. I kept this receipt because I knew I couldn't remember. 10-year age single malt Highland was $23.99. Yeah. That was actually the most expensive product I bought that day. That's the most expensive. This is the most expensive product I bought that day, which was April 30th, 2022. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 bottles that still never opened. I got the Campo Azul Blanco tequila. I got Campo Azul Reposado tequila. They're both liter bottles. Never opened. Rum of the Gods White. Rum of the Gods Gold. The Blanco and the Reposado was $13.99 each. The rum was $7.99 each. The Trader Joe's Espada Pequeña Mezcal was $21.99. The Highland rum cast finish was $17.99. The bourbon cast finish was $17.99. The sherry cast finish, this one was $17.99. The Finlag and Isla single malt was $19.99. The Trader Joe's Speyside 8-year was $19.99. Their blended scotch was $10.99 for a liter. The 10-year-old, like I just said, $23.99. Lismore single malt, $18.99. Simpler Times Lager, a 12-pack, was $6.99. But the price has gone way up since then. I think it's $9.99 now, but boy, it used to be cheap. So I paid $241.18 after tax. $241.18. But I don't see that as a bad thing because I'm still I still have 4 bottles and I haven't even opened. It's been 4 years almost. So I've been slowly breaking those open, and it's been a great experience. Pilsen Mexican says, good afternoon, Jay. Which malt liquor is the best for you? I get King Cobra. Don't let the smooth taste fool you, King Cobra. For cheap, but I would rather have Old English 7.5% alcohol by volume. Emojis, yeah. Well, we can't get Old English 7.5 here. We only get the 5.9, which is plenty nice. Which malt liquor is the best for me? Well, it would be Mickey's Fine Malt Liquor these days. Mickey's Fine Malt Liquor. It would have been Magnum, which was also 5.6, but Magnum is gone. Old English 800 is really nice, I have to admit. So yeah, I could be satisfied with Old English, but I like Colt 45. The new Anheuser-Busch produced Colt 45. They have improved it. But no, I think I'll go with Mickey's. Yes. Cheers. Smell like sherry wine. Do I like wine? Yes, I drank wine with my lunch today, and then I took a nap, and I was out like a light. I went lay out in the sun. You see how sunny it is out there on a Mexican blanket. I was on a Mexican blanket in the grass. I was out, but then I woke up and then I mowed the lawn. I had Mickey's malt liquor last night. Oh, really? There used to be a product called Mickey's Ice Brewed Ale, which are found in Wisconsin and in Florida. Only two states I ever found it in, Wisconsin and Florida. Apparently it's gone now. All right, taste time. Cheers. Oh, yeah, she's going to sleep. She better go to sleep. She kept me awake and she was acting crazy at 2 in the morning. About 2 in the morning. Okay, it's aged 10 years. It's a little oak grain, meaning barley, malted barley. Oh, it's pretty good. I think it's the same as the thing they're showing. Diced apples. I don't know about the apples. Toffee, maybe that. Oaky finish. Yeah. Smoke. No, there's no smoke here at all. And they don't claim there is. Yeah. It's fine. $23.99. That's a good price actually for a 10-year age single malt. So amazing price actually. And I can get another one at Albertson's 10-year Speyside for what, $24.99. Not that good, but yeah. See, that's got the smoke. That's why it's that one. It's the sherry cask finish. You were taking a siesta. That's the Spanish word for taking a nap, right? I know that, a siesta. I had some rice, medium grain rice, and I put some hot sauce on it with diced onions and serrano pepper, and I put a big piece of extra sharp cheddar cheese in it. Then I had some Aldi sausage, the cheddar sausage, and I put some Worcestershire sauce on it. Then I had a piece of bread with some sandwich spread on it, and then a piece of pie at the end. Pie, it's called buttermilk pie, and I put some whipped cream on it, and I had milk with it. And then I laid on that blanket, and I was like, let me lay down and go to. I don't think I finished the sentence in my brain, and I was out. And then I woke up. All right, obviously off topic, but it's crazy how a call from the president to the USA hockey team made them go from national heroes to being villains. Has it ever been so overpolarized? Yeah, it probably has been. Were they insulting the president? Well, a lot of these younger people, they got no brains, they can't detach the office from the person. And a lot of them are led around, but I don't know the story. You understand? I don't know the story. I had earthquake, high gravity last night, 2 liters. I hope you're kidding me. All right. See, if I was on a hockey team and a president called me, if I didn't like the president, I wouldn't be rude. I'd just be like, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. No big deal. I didn't vote for the person, but I don't get passionate about politics. I observe politics. I vote. I'm involved in it in a sense, but I'm not one of these rah-rah party people. I am registered in a party, but I'm not involved in it. Like I don't go to meetings or anything. But I'm not one of these rah-rah people, and I just kind of like have a detached. I'll just like view it. I'm looking at it. I make comments on it, but I'm not into it. Some people are sick about it. They're mental about it. They'll be like, I don't want to be your Facebook friend anymore because you voted for somebody. I'm like, you're really crazy. And the only reason I say that is because they are. I was praying not to get shocked because my light bulb went out. Luckily, I had an extra light bulb, but I was buzzing, trying to keep my balance on the chair. Okay. He called into their locker room celebrating, and they were laughing at some of his comments and thanking him. He had made an off-color joke about he will have to invite the women hockey team. Oh, well, you know how he is. He's been the same since I was little. You know, when I was like 15 years old, he was like the same. He never changed. Nick Blazer said, I just picked up a 12-pack of Stone Variety Pack. That's a good thing. I wish we'd get those variety packs over here again. But the last variety pack they had was kind of shabby. It was like substandard stuff. But I'm like, are they trying to get rid of their like lesser products in a 12-pack? But yeah, Trump was like that in 1980. I remember him, and I was like 13 years old. They were like, this character from New York City, this guy is so different. But he never changed. All right. This is pretty good. It's not anything great. I don't mind that I bought it. I've still got a lot left. It's going to take me years to get through this. You say, no, that's a lot. That's not a lot. I know, but at the way I do it, I do little taste challenges. So it's going to be a long time. If I had the stomach for wine and whiskey, I would buy some, but I think beer is always cheaper than whiskey and wine. Well, you see, that depends. That depends because actually, if you get liquor, it's cheaper per ounce than beer. But then you can only sip a little bit. You just sip a little bit. If you try to drink a lot of whiskey or rum or brandy or gin or vodka, you won't be around too long. So beer is more of a drinkable product. You drink it. Liquor, you mix it, with orange juice and soda water and mineral water. You know what I'm saying? No, I mean or punch, and you make a cocktail or tomato juice and so forth. But and I'm not into that. He was inviting the men's hockey team to the White House, and he said, "Well, you guys understand, I will now have to invite the women hockey team, or he will get impeached." That was all it was. Yeah, I mean, it's like half the time when he says stuff, he's clearly just kidding around, and the media will be like, "Can you believe what he said? Can you believe what he said?" And I say to myself, like, he's kidding. Like the people reporting it, like NBC News. This is an NBC News special report. Trump said, blah, blah, blah. And it's like they know he's kidding. They know clearly he's not serious, but they'll report it like that. People were offended he said such a thing. It's like, oh, come on, man. Y'all know how he was. Y'all knew how he was back in 1982, and you making it like it's something new. And it's not anything new. And it's not about him. It's not about him. You don't care about him. He's meaningless to you. It's about his policies that you don't like. You know what it's about. And who he appointed to the Supreme Court and so forth. That's what it's about. It's not about him. I know how the media is. I'm not even that big of a Trump supporter. I only voted for the guy 3 times. I'm not a big Trump supporter. I don't really support a lot of his policies. Foreign policy is horrible. But I don't want to get on that because I'm a non-interventionist. People say you're isolation. I'm not an isolationist. I don't want to be isolated. I don't want to, but I don't want to intervene in other countries' conflicts. That doesn't mean I'm isolating myself. And then people will come back at me. You don't stand with Israel. I stand with neutrality, actually. I stand with neutrality, in fact. But all right, so this smoky product over here, it's way better. Really, to me, it's better. It's a lot better. Does the wine finish make a difference? I think the sherry cask finish, I think it makes some difference. I just think it's this smokiness, this overall better body, like a fuller body, more character. And I love that. And I have to keep going back to the smokiness. So this is the clear and present winner. And it is at the time of purchase. $6 cheaper. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it, man. No, but I'm confident because all I have to do is look for the smoke. Are most of my whiskeys smoky? No. I mean, obviously, none of the whiskeys that aren't Scotch are smoky. Most of my Scotch whiskeys are not smoky. Three of them are. Well, let's see. Finlagan, Ardbeg 10, and the Ben Riach. That's it. That's the only smokies I've got. Ben Riach, the Ben Riach, Ardbeg 10, and Finlagan. That's it. All the rest, they got no smoke. But this, oh, well, you know, Johnny Walker Double Black has a little bit of smoke, and Johnny Walker is kind of smoky. Well, those are blended, but I would never do blended versus single malt in a challenge. Anyway, I don't do cross styling. I don't cross style. But yeah, this one I'm going to get it right every time. I think I'll get it right every time because it's smoky and the other ones aren't. Now you might say, well, why should I even watch? That's a good question. Why should you watch? Because you know the outcome. You could save yourself some viewing time. Skip it because I'm telling you up front that it's not going to be a challenge. So if you want to save yourself some viewership time, go to something else because it is not going to be confused with any other product. So if you do watch anyway, don't say, well, I watched and you, well, I told you beforehand not to watch because it was going to be, the thing's going to be predetermined. Have you ever tried Moonshine or Clear Springs or Everclear or grain alcohol? No. I know about them. They got Everclear. There's Gem Clear from Luxco. There's Diesel from Sazerac Company, Buffalo Trace, Diesel with a big truck, 18-wheeler on it. I don't drink that kind of stuff, but I know about it. 190 proof. I saw a video when someone started their lawnmower with Everclear. Well, yes, like almost 100% pure alcohol, ethanol. It would probably destroy the engine if you kept running it. I think a lot of people would agree with you. Sadly, I think a lot of people who don't align with the America First promises came to collect on their campaign donation promises. Politics is dirty. It is dirty. And I don't usually fall for it because I don't trust these people. If they do carry out their promises, then I will trust them, you know, like Ron Paul, for instance. Even Rand Paul, but he kind of dropped the ball on a lot of things. But his father, Ron Paul, I saw him live. He made a speech in Kenner, Louisiana. I was there. And he was very tired, old, worn out, going nowhere. But it was a good speech, but he's just finished. You know, I said, well, if this guy could have gotten popular when he was like 53 years old, you know, not 83 years old, but 53 years old, he could have changed the world, you know, but that was so long ago, like almost 40 years ago. So he didn't get popular until it was too late. But somebody else could pick up his flag, you know, and carry it. I'll do it, but I have to give up my beer reviews and whiskey reviews for the most part. Although I think a presidential candidate could do whiskey reviews on the side. Every 4 years, vote for a new puppet. Yeah, but I don't want to vote for a puppet. Ron Paul described what is happening today 20 years ago, almost exactly, one of the good ones. Yeah, like even like 40 years ago. I mean, you watch him on Morton Downey. He had to go like slum it. You know, he had to go on like Morton Downey Jr. He had to go really lowbrow because he couldn't really get exposure otherwise. But he was really giving you the platform of the Democratic Party of 1888. So like, if you look at Ron Paul in 1988, he was presenting the Democratic Party platform of 1888. Now, the modern Democratic Party, their platform is more similar. It's much more similar to the Soviet Union's platform of 1988 than than America, America 1888. So that's how much the Democratic Party changed. It went from like free enterprise, gold standard, non-intervention, all the good stuff in 1888 to sort of like a clone, Soviet Union clone of today. You see, so they've deteriorated, and then they say why we keep, and then they can't understand why we keep getting beat. Well, maybe people don't actually embrace communism, but you think they do, but they don't really. But and then the Republicans, they are very mixed up, but they need me. They need me. The Republicans should try to recruit me to change my party from a traditional Democrat. I mean traditional, and I don't mean like now. I mean like Grover Cleveland Democrat. People say you're a Democrat. I say yeah, but I'm more like a Grover Cleveland, Jefferson Davis Democrat. Where it goes over their head, they don't get it. But I'm not I'm not a modern Democrat. I'm not a Joseph Stalin Democrat, or an Al Gore Democrat, or a Nikita Khrushchev, or a John F. Kennedy, or a Leonid Brezhnev, or a Barack Obama Democrat, not one of those. But every 4 years. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I got your comments. All right. So the clear and present winner is, but I didn't say I was a Republican either. I'm not a Benjamin Netanyahu Republican. I'm not in their pocket. I'm not in their pocket. Highland single malt sherry. I think the sherry cask finish makes a difference, but I think the real difference here is the smokiness. And now you say, oh no, no, Highland whiskey is not smoky. Well, obviously some Highland whiskey is smoky because I'm drinking one and it's got smokiness. Is it profound? It's not profound, but it's present. It is present. So I know what smoke tastes like. I know what smoke smells like. I was smelling it this morning when I was walking. So, yeah. All right. Now the next one coming up is going to be the Trader Joe's. I got the rum cask finish. I got the bourbon cask finish. Those weren't really too good, honestly. So I don't think they'll match up. And then I've got all the other ones, the Glenmorangie and the Tomat and the Glenrothes and Glenglassaugh. They're out of business. The Lismore and the Glencullen and the Jura. Oh, I mean, I got so many. It'll be way into March, and then we'll move on to blended Scotch. And how long is that going to take? You know how many blended Scotch whiskeys I have? Well, I'll tell you what, it's a lot. All right. Well, y'all take care now. Peace to the world.